Hello and welcome to Altenew's June release video hop. Since this is a video hop, do like, share, and comment to enter a chance to win in this giveaway. Today I will be creating this easel card with some fun June release products. I am going to be using the Flourishing Coral Stencil, the Coral Arch die set, and I will be bringing out the Nesting Arches die set from a previous release. I am also using the Coral Reef Wonders, the Craft Your Life Project Kit die set, as well as the stamp set for my sentiment. Now, here's a look at the construction of the base and the measurements if you would like to create this. For the main card base, I have a piece of Dewdrops cardstock, which is cut at 4¼ by 11 inches. So I have left the cardstock in length as it exists in the pack and just cut at 4¼ Now for the nesting serene archways, I have numbered them, keeping the outermost die as die 1. So when I say die 2, it's the next die outwards, from outwards going inwards. So it's the second die there, just for ease of reference. So I have die cut this arch piece die 2 on Lagoon cardstock, which measures 5½ inches by 3½ inches. I have then used the die number 5, and I am going to be cutting that on Teal Cave cardstock, and this measures 4¾ of an inch by 3½ inches. And then the smallest arch on Dewdrops, and that's die number 6, and I am using a piece of cardstock that's 4¼ by 3 inches. Now I don't mind getting that length cut a little shorter, because here I'm just using a scrap piece of paper. I also have a white cardstock piece that measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches, and this is a piece to line up on the inside to write the message. I've used the Coral Arch die and die cut that on white cardstock 2 times for my layers. Now let's start with the construction. So my longest piece along the 11-inch side, I am scoring it at 2¾ of an inch first and then 5½ inches. Now I prefer scoring on both sides of the paper just so that when I fold over, I have a nice clean fold. So just repeating that, 2¾ of an inch and 5½ inches. And once I have the score lines, I am going to first fold along the 5½ inches inwards, and that gives us our top folding A2 card, right? So that's 4¼ by 5½ inches and top folding, the way this is constructed. Now open that up and fold again inwards along that 2¾ of an inch, and that is what creates our easel element for this card. So with that, the basic construction is complete and we have our card base ready. Now I am taking my card base to my sticky mat, and I'm going to be using the stencil to ink blend and add a little detail with the stencil. So starting with Aqualicious, and I do go in with Teal Cave just to bring in a little darker color, especially at the borders, because that's what is going to be mostly visible once I layer the elements. Of course, the top two. Now I'm also going to stencil on the Dewdrops arch piece that I die cut, and I make sure to add darker color in the center, which will peek through that coral arch frame. With that done, I am just setting aside all these pieces, and I am bringing back the coral arch as well as some pieces from the zero waste beneath the blue die set, just to build my scene. Now for the ink blending, I begin with pink pearl, making sure I have that nice pink layer as my base layer. And I do this on both the arch pieces as well as those tiny ferns that I have on the side. I am going in for a coral color, so pink pearl just forms a nice base. Now on that rock, I just ink blend with dewdrops and then we'll go over canyon clay to create a little different tone, bringing in some sort of a gray tone, I would say here. And instead of adding another ink color, basically using what I have out here to blend my colors. Canyon clay is the second layer on the arch as well as the ferns, and then the third layer is orange cream, and the darkmost layer is going to be coral bliss. And I do this almost creating a nice gradient on that coral arch with the lightest at the tip and the darkest at the base. So I'm just building an ombre here and blending my elements. For the fish, I am going to bring in warm sunshine and caramel toffee. Of course, all the supplies that I use today are going to be listed in the description box below. Stay till the end of this video because I am sharing all the cards I've created using the release products from this month, just to give you ideas on your next creation. I will also be going live tomorrow, that's 5th of June, here on my YouTube channel, creating with the new release products, and I will also have an exclusive discount to share with you all. With that said, the elements are ink blended and I am going to bring the iridescent glitter relief paste and apply this on the topmost layer of that coral arch with my finger to bring a little shine to that layer. And once that's dry, I am going to glue those two layers. I die cut that layer twice just to make it sturdy. With that, now I am good to glue all the layers. So just following my size with the nesting arches, I am gluing all of them, creating a nice tone on tone effect with the different shades. And I glue that entire arch piece to my card base in the center, only at that bottom part, that 2 3/4 of an inch part, not on the top. I also glue that white cardstock inside my card for the message. Once that's done, it's all about creating the composition. I use liquid glue to glue all the die cut elements as well as foam tape and continue to build on my composition for the front of the card. Now, I also want to mention that I teach monthly classes and I will be teaching a tunnel card using the June release products on July 11th. The details are in the description box below as well for that. I also want to take a moment and thank each one of you for the beautiful comments you always leave on my videos. I truly appreciate that, and I'm grateful when you use my affiliate links that come at no extra cost to you. So thank you so much for that. Back to the card, I have stamped the sentiment and die cut it with the nesting arches following the theme on my card front. And I did that on Dewdrops cardstock and stamped it with Teal Cave. I have also created the yellow tang fish from the Craft Your Life project kit die set and added foam tape and just placing my front panel the way I like it. I have adhered those two elements and added some splatter with the metallic pan set. Now with that, the card is complete, and here is a closer look at those details. On the front, the inside, I also went in and stamped a sentiment on the rock there and embellished this with iridescent gem sparkles. I hope this inspires you to create a fun interactive card. Now moving ahead, here is my card using the Craft a Flower Forget Me Not set, and I have used fabric to create and shape my flowers here for all that dimension. My next card is with the Mini Delight set. I absolutely adore that seahorse, and I have paired the stamp and the die cut elements on this card. Moving ahead, I am sharing my cards using the Craft Your Life project kit. So this first card, I have used the embossing folder with the coordinated coloring stencils as well as a die cut fish, the blue tang, to add to my card. Here I feature the stamps from that same kit using the stencils to build a whale scene. This one pairs the beautiful die-cut turtle with the stamp set, another favorite of mine. My last card using the project kit has the stamped elements, the stencils, just to create a nice underwater scuba diver scene there. So that is a look at my cards with the project kit. Moving ahead, I have two cards with the Build a Garden Leaning Lily. So here I just went in with a nice dimensional look with multiple clusters. And on this card, I have used just the stencils to create that card. Now, once that's done, moving on to the other release products. Now, I may not be saying the names correctly, but everything is listed below in the description box. This is the 3D embossing folder, the waves, they are so realistic. This is the Jamboree stencil with the different layers. You need nothing else for that card. The next two samples are with the lily pad embossing folder and coloring stencil. Again, love that detail and so great for building scenes on our cards. Works both horizontally and vertically. Now comes my card that I was talking about earlier, the tunnel scene card here. And I have used the ocean windows die, the creative cuts, the craft your life projected die cut elements. And this is a three-dimensional project, accordion style, folds flat for an A2 card with a top folding card base for the message inside. So I will be teaching this on 11th of July. And my last card here features the Pond Lilies die set, and this is a video that will be upcoming in this month, so stay tuned for that. With that said, I hope I have inspired you with ideas using the C release for July, and do let me know which one is your favorite product and which is your favorite card from the cards I've shared today. Until the next time, take care and bye-bye.